I'm Jenny and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the first episode of Series 4 of Ghosts. It's been a long time coming for Series 4. I absolutely loved it. Yes, I am one of the ones who binges the whole series. I wish I had the willpower to wait week by week, but I'm going to be watching it week by week as well, because why not? Because there is also actually a podcast on BBC Sounds that I haven't actually listened to the first episode yet, but when each episode airs, there's a podcast talking about each episode, kind of like what the Taskmaster podcast does, and talking about the episode and like the ghosts and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to be tuning into that because that sounds awesome. So spoiler alert, yes, I will be talking about spoilers to do with the first episode of Ghosts, and for people in the comments, please keep this limited to the talk about the first episode of Ghosts. We do not want to hear anything else about other episodes, especially because there are some big things that happen, and I don't want anything to be spoiled for anybody else. So this is just going to be the first episode, and I am thinking, don't hold me to this because it might not happen, but I am thinking of doing kind of like a weekly video, just like 5 to 10 minutes, just chatting about the episode. Let me know if that interests you, and then at the end, like when the whole series is out and everybody's watched it, I'll do like a full series review. Let me know if that sounds like a good idea. So let's just get straight into the first episode. First of all, I thought it was a fantastic first episode. I thought it was very strong. I thought it was stronger than Series 3's first episode, even though I did love the Humphry plotline. But for Series 4, I thought this was a great starter. I think it established the kind of like trials and tribulations they would have with the guest house, with like opening the gatehouse, and kind of their ambition to get a 5-star review, and to get good reviews, get good business. And I think it sets up that very well and kind of shows why they're so desperate for good reviews. And it also shows a lot of kind of like where the ghosts are established now and then how they'll evolve through the rest of the series. So the main plotline would be the Alison and Mike plotline, where they've got their first ever guests at the gatehouse and they are trying to get their first ever 5-star review, which, yes, as I said, a very fantastic first episode plotline. It wasn't a plotline that I was particularly invested in. The couple, they were just kind of in the background. They didn't really interact with anybody in any way. I'd have liked the ghosts to kind of, spook them a bit, even though I'm glad they didn't interfere in any way. However, linking to that, I did like the Julian and Fanny storyline, where they were listening in, almost bickering like a married couple themselves, and mirroring the personalities of the guests that they had in. I really enjoyed their interactions throughout this series. They're not really paired together that much, so I really did enjoy them being paired together. I thought it was very funny. I really liked that both Julian and Fanny were spying on them for the same reason, as Julian said, to watch them get it on. I thought that was very funny, and obviously Julian being very outright with it, and Fanny being very reserved and be like, oh no, I'm not watching. That's not why I'm here, even though it's very obvious that's why she's there. I really enjoyed them. Even though it wasn't my favourite storyline, or one that I was particularly invested in, I did really like both Alison and Mike's, what they did in this episode. I feel like it was quite good to have Mike almost be the sensible one, and Alison being this one who really wants that 5-star review and is going to puncture tyres to try and get it. And I felt that was quite a nice little dynamic change. I really enjoyed that, seeing Mike be the one to step back a bit and Alison the one to go a bit crazy about it. I really did enjoy that, and the fact that they didn't get the actual 5-star in the review, even though they tried really hard, and it just be down to faulty Wi-Fi and stuff like that. I think that was very funny and very realistic for somebody who is opening a B&B for their first ever time, the first ever guest. It's not going to be perfect, so I think that's very realistic than them getting a 5-star review straight away. And again, it allows Alison and Mike to keep trying through the rest of the series. I would say the kind of secondary plot line, and also my favourite plot line this episode, was the plague ghosts and Thomas. I love that they were obsessed with him. I thought it'd be funny when I read the description of the episode, but it was so much more funny than I thought it would be. I absolutely loved it. I thought the plague ghosts were brilliant. It was fantastic seeing them again, and also seeing them interact throughout the whole episode rather than just being here or there. And we actually kind of got a bit more of their personalities, and the plague ghosts we kind of see as all as a group, but I feel like we definitely got a bit more of each individual plague ghost, which I thought was very good. With the one that Matt plays, him being the one to kind of wanted to talk about this hero that the captain was talking about, and Kitty's played Ghost, or Lolly's played Ghost, kind of crying and get very overwhelmed that she's excited to see them, and like them all arguing with Thomas about the poetry. I just thought it was just all fantastic. I absolutely loved that. And I like them acting like fangirls, and it all kind of being this like gossipy circle about like who Thomas is like saying hello to and who gets like a portrait with him. And I thought it was fantastic. It was a great idea for a plotline, and I loved how well it was set up in the Christmas episode. It was something that could have just been like a throwaway joke of her putting the portrait in the basement and just kind of left it that, but I like that they continued with it and made a very funny episode out of it. Another thing I really liked about this plotline is Kitty. I think Kitty was definitely the highlight for me of this episode. I thought she was fantastic. I like that she kind of, someone that is quite not shy, she's not shy, but like kind of a bit naive and not really knowing what's kind of going on at some points, for her to immediately jump into that kind of organizer PA role and making sure she's like a celebrity personal assistant, making sure that he's comfortable. And I thought Lolly Adefope was fantastic. I thought it was just amazing. I thought it was very funny, and again, like I said, kind of similar with like having the dynamic shift. I like that she kind of had this newfound kind of like confidence and professionalism as well. And it's very funny, representing a lot of what celebrities and like celebrity PAs are like. And I did really, really like that. And the whole interaction between Kitty and the ghosts and Kitty and Thomas, was very, very funny, and I thought it was very good. And Thomas was fantastic as well. Immediately went into being very superior, and it's like, oh yeah, of course you love me. I like that, and for him to blow it. And also I think that it's kind of, they love his poems, where it's like they've just seen a portrait of his face, like that's the only real thing that they're obsessed with, and for them to not actually like his poetry, and for his poetry to be seen as like bad and very confusing. And also I really liked that they were analysing the poems as they were kind of going on. It's very reminiscent of like kind of how we analyse poetry in like English lessons in school. And we in reality we don't really know what the poet was thinking when they were writing the poems, but all different interpretations, like, oh well, I didn't read it that way. And I really, really liked that. I thought it was very funny, and again, very reminiscent of what many people would have experienced in school, especially in the UK. I also really liked that Thomas referred to them as creatures. I thought that was very funny. I was like, just a little throwaway line that really made me giggle. The next little plot line was Robin, and seeing this like reconstructed CGI or like modelled caveman out of remains that they found. And this is where I thought we would get the Robin flashback that was indicated kind of in the trailer. This is where I thought we'd get it when we started hearing about like a different caveman, but it wasn't, which is fine. But I really liked this plot line as well. I thought it was very good seeing Robin talk about his past a bit more, and also showing how kind of like cheeky and almost like selfish he was back in the olden times, and how he has evolved quite a lot. And I think that is kind of a theme that we do see with Robin quite a bit. It's like just showing how intelligent he's become and how much more evolved of a human he's become, even though he is still physically a caveman, very primitive. I really like the twist of this. I knew he would be right, 'cause this is kind of the way it was indicating, and it was like, oh yeah, my friend called Hat, he's got a tattoo on his bum, I traded a stick for his furs. I thought it was very good, and kind of it's very Robin would do something like that, and I thought that was very funny. And then the fact that would kind of be what killed his friend was very sad, very funny, and I liked Robin's just kind of like, oh no, that wasn't who it was. Don't be silly, that's not who it was. And I thought that was very funny. And again, a little plotline, again, just how they managed to fit so many different things into one episode is ridiculous. I think the captain was in the background for a lot of this episode, went in and out of every plotline, which I really liked. I think he's great. And I liked his not believing anything that Robin's saying, and also with the Thomas plotline of the captain, like being like, oh, you're not made out to be like this, they don't actually like you for your poems, and being this like cynical person throughout the whole episode. And the last little plotline that we got was Pat and Mary talking about holidays. And again, even though it's quite a minor plot line, I did really enjoy this one as well. There wasn't one that I didn't enjoy. But I really like this. I think it shows a good amount of like character it shows a lot about the character of both Pat and Mary. So with Pat, it shows him to be this very organised, we've seen him as a scout leader, like very organised and rigid with things, and gets very stressed out with planning and stuff like that, and kind of always wanting to please people as well. And that is kind of reminiscent about like how people do kind of go on holiday and it doesn't quite go as well, but it's still kind of seen as an adventure. And then Mary, we've got the realisation that her life wasn't as bad as she thought it was, and also how everybody else thinks it was. I think it was a great development for Mary's character. I think also as viewers, we see Mary's life as being very hard, and obviously it ended in a very horrible way, but we see it as like, working on a farm, being very poor, but she lived a very simple life and she was very happy. And I think we also saw that Pat also kind of craves just that simple life, whereas his life has been quite hectic, but also that does kind of come from the root of trying to make everything like perfect and trying to please everybody, but also kind of being a bit selfish in the way that he wants things to go as well. So I think that's everything I wanted to say about the plot lines. For the comedy, I think it very much holds up to kind of the comedy that we've seen through series 1, 2 and 3. It's very similar. They haven't really changed their style much. I thought all the jokes were funny. I think the characters' behaviours was funny. They've been very good with their double entendres and being a bit cheeky with some of their jokes, which is what I really like. And I think, they've done an absolutely fantastic job. It's well worth the wait. Every time a new series comes out, it's like, great. I'm so glad that they don't rush it, because they obviously put so much time into the writing and making sure that each episode has a very, very developed, multiple plot lines that all come together at the end, that it just meshed really well, and I don't think many other shows could pull it off. But there's just so much complexity with each episode and each character. It's just amazing. So I think that's everything big I wanted to talk about. There are a lot of things I want to talk about in the later episodes, but as I said, keep this comment section spoiler free for the next bit of series 4. There will be a time and place for us to discuss all the other things that happen in series 4 later on. And I'm very excited to do so, because as you imagine, if you have seen it, I've got a lot of thoughts. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, then please give it a like and comment down below what you thought about episode 1 of series 4 of Ghosts. And subscribe if you want to see more videos to do with ghosts, which I'll definitely have some more out for you soon. And thank you very much for watching. Bye!